Good evening, everyone. How you doing? Guess what? It's time for the Ruby Girl Talk. And guess who I am? Yep, your favorite Ruby Girl. So good evening, everyone. Good evening. Once again, I have a fantastic, marvelous, amazing, captivating guest that you definitely want to hear what she has to say. She might look familiar, maybe because she's been on my show before. And every time she's on my show, she totally rocks it. We get a lot of comments. We get a lot of people reaching out with questions for her because when I tell you she is phenomenal. And whatever she got to say, I want you to sit up in your chair and I want you to pay attention. All right. So this is Kay, once again, your favorite Ruby Girl. A Ruby Girl comes from Proverbs 31:10. Who can find a virtuous woman for her price is far above the price of a ruby. So ladies, you're rare, virtuous, and valuable. And so I don't want you to forget that. I want every time you feel a little down, I want you to remember how rare, virtuous, and valuable you are. Turn to Proverbs 31:10 and read it and get inspired and do whatever you got to do. So go to rubygirl.net if you would love to support the movement. Let me tell you about the movement a little bit before I introduce my guest. But I want you to share. Like I said, it is free to share. Sharing is to care. It means I'm not going to be selfish. I'm going to share with others because I want them to get blessed as I get blessed too. It's all about supporting each other. So I want Dr. Elizabeth Carter to have a big audience tonight. I want millions of people to hear her tonight. I want this to be her million audience debut tonight. Are you ready, Dr. Elizabeth?
I am ready, Dr. Karen. I'm ready.
And so go to rubygirl.net. You can buy a t-shirt or you can buy any other Ruby Girl merchandise. But let me tell you, when you wear your t-shirt, what's going to happen? And I want you to be prepared. People are going to ask you, what is a Ruby Girl? That opens the door for you to be able to share the word of God with them. It's so easy. So if you've been looking for a way to encourage women, to reach out to people, to be able to share the word of God, the good news, it's good news, y'all. Get you a Ruby Girl shirt. Only thing you got to do is show up, look good, and the question's going to come. All right, let's get to our beautiful guest tonight. Dr. Elizabeth Carter, once again, welcome to the Ruby Girl Talk.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to talk to you once again.
I am excited too. So, Dr. Elizabeth, tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
I am Elizabeth, Dr. E. Carter, PhD. I am your Corporate Elevation Strategist. I've been working in corporate for over 25 years, and I know it is a struggle. And I know when I was coming up this, I'll call it a zigzag ladder. It wasn't even a straight ladder. It was a zigzag. I didn't have any real mentors, someone to guide me, help me out when I was in trouble, struggling, figuring out what to do, how to make this corporate work. And I want to be that for someone else. There is so much we know, so much knowledge we have to share. We are very important to corporations. We are the buying power. We're the consumers. You need to know what we think and how we purchase and what we like to do so that you can sell your products. So it is my goal to shepherd more, especially persons of color, into leadership. I have a full-time corporate job working in the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area for a health insurance company. I am a vice president. It took a long time for me to get to that in my career, and I wanted to be faster for other people. That's why I have my company Appeal, where I am coaching others, allowing them to be more vocal, visible, and valued. And I keep my corporate job because I'm learning and sharing situations as I live them. No sense talking to somebody who left corporate 30, 40 years ago. It's different now. You want somebody who's in it, who is seeing what's going on right now and can share the lessons learned as they learn them with you. So thank you for having me, Dr. Karen.
I love it. I love it. I love what you said that when you came along, there was nobody that you can consult with. And I get it because, about you said you've been in corporate 20, how long?
25 years plus. Yes.
25 years
I look
plus.
26, so thank you.
I was wondering, I was like over here doing the math on my fingers. I ran out of fingers. But I get what you're saying, because back then there was no internet. People, our motivational speakers was like Les Brown was mostly men. Nobody was talking about corporate, because I see the shift in this motivational speaking realm now. Is that it's more corporate now. Before it was more like personal stories, motivation, but now people are more corporate, dealing with corporate issues, getting corporate contracts and everything like that. So the shift has been made. So now people that are in corporate, they have a little bit more tools than you did 25 plus years ago. Because I've been in, I guess, corporate about 20, almost 22 years, 2021. Yeah, almost 22 years I have been in corporate. And I can tell you, I'm the lower end of corporate. I'm not the C-suite. I'm not the vice president. I'm not even vice. I have the highest position, the second, well, the manager, then me. I'm under him. I'm the highest, I call it regular employee position. But even then, it's like there's a glass ceiling unless you have certain degrees, and now certain certification. It used to be you had to have a certain degree, but now it's certain certifications. And it's like they're adding more and more requirements to make it a little bit harder to climb that corporate ladder. So, Dr. Elizabeth, talk about the corporate experience that propelled you to start AAPPEAL. Now, y'all, this is what AAPPEAL stands for: an absolute passion for performance engagement, analytics, and leadership. I totally love it. And I thought about this today. Once they hear your story, AAPPEAL kind of goes with your story, with what happened to you. That is so perfect. Tell them your story. I'm so excited. Y'all ready? All right, go ahead.
Yes. What happened was back in 2016, and like all of us, we are working hard every day doing that corporate grind. I say, hey, I'm waving flags, kissing babies, working late, working weekends, killing myself, thinking I'm doing great, always getting that, feedback. Oh, you're doing great work. I was hoping to be promoted. And I was in the finance department and I did the budget. And I knew we were, I'll say, downsizing a bit. I was part of the planning process and I built in 6 people to be laid off in June of 2016. I said, oh, wow, that's interesting, because we always layer in certain activities. Sometimes they happen, sometimes they don't. Come to find out, I was one of the 6 that was being laid off. I was like, after all I did for the company, I was so mad. And it was at that moment I said to myself, I had given my life basically to work. And I did a speaking session. I had a C on my chest. And for the longest time, the letter C stood for company, but the C needed to stand for Carter. I was putting everything for the company ahead of myself. And I said to myself, self, we need to take that back. The company showed you that you are not important. I needed to realize I am important, and I'm not going to let a company dictate who I am or dictate what I bring to the table. And that's why I started AAPPEAL. That was right after I got laid off in 2016. And you're right, those 4 pillars: performance, engagement, analytics, and leadership. Those are the 4 main areas we need to excel in to propel ourselves in leadership. And I want to be able to craft tools, resources from what I learned, because I know what I was doing was right. I know what I was doing was phenomenal. It was just that the company made a choice, and they always say, don't take it personal, but you do, because there were choices they could have made. It could have been somebody else on that list and not me. But I said to myself, from now on, I will never let the company take control of my life the way it did. At that time, I also was in a lot of stress. I have high cholesterol, I have high blood pressure, and I tell people that the number on the scale for my weight was high too. And I will not let someone else take control of my wellness, my well-being, and my livelihood. And now I have a great job. I love what I do, but don't get it twisted. I am still Elizabeth Carter. I will give to the company what I know they need. But if something happens tomorrow, I don't take it personal because I know who I am and what I bring to the table. And if you don't appreciate what I'm doing for you, I'm sure somebody else will. And I want others to have that type of confidence to be able to do that for themselves. So many don't. They feel that this job is the only thing they have. If they lose it, that's it. That's not it. That's just the beginning. And I want to help people understand all that they are beyond their company, their title, whatever they do, that they have so much more to offer. That's what AAPPEAL does. And that's why I got it started.
I love it. I love it. And you know, most people that would have went through this experience would have been bitter, wouldn't have stepped foot back in corporate again. But you took those lemons and you made some wonderful lemonade and put some little ice cubes in there and decorated the picture too. You know, because you said you move with confidence now. That would have shook. I'm gonna be honest, that would have shook my confidence because I will always be on every job like, are they gonna fire me? You know, working hard. I'm like, I'm gonna work harder, I'm work harder. But you processed it correctly, like it needed to be processed. So that shows you that there was a strength in you that you didn't even know you had, but you had to go through this. Like when bad things happen to good people, people just think, you know, that's the enemy. But sometimes it's God showing us what's in us, the strength that's in us. And to look at you, I see you as a woman of strength. I see you as a woman that somebody can connect with, and and you're gonna push them to that maximum. No excuses, because you had all excuses in the world to be done with corporate. But you just say, hey, I'm about to take this and I'm about to start my company, and I'm going to make sure that if this happens to somebody else, I'll be there for them. I love it, Dr. Carter.
That's
I
right.
love it. I
Thank
love it.
you.
So quite a few people have been a casualty of corporate, but just like you have. So you truly feel them. It's like you're not somebody that's just speaking to them about what you heard about. You've been a casualty of corporate. I mean, they got you good in the back while you was, you know, you planning out for 6 people to be let go, not knowing that you're one of the 6 people who does that, you know.
Right.
But you teach women how to climb in the corporate world. Please explain that. I love your acronym.
Yes. So let me first do a little promotion of my book. And if any of my co-authors are out here, I got the proof in the mail today. This is the paperback proof that I'm proofreading before I say we're ready to go. I'm very excited about it. So in my chapter, I talk about the climb is steep, but keep climbing. And that really is about climbing the hills in corporate as you're trying to move up the ladder. And climb, I have in here is an acronym really about what we need to do and understand, and what really helped me in my transition. So for that situation, I was out of work 15 months, a year and a half. I was not going to settle to be unhappy. I wanted to wait to make sure I had the right opportunity. And I did a lot of homework and research to ensure that. So for me, the climb is just really those steps. First of all was culture. The C is culture. Culture is critical. Often we get to a company and we're looking for people to walk the walk and talk the talk. When we don't see that, we're thinking, oh, it'll come, it'll happen. But you have to realize they're showing you what they are immediately. And it's up to you to decide, is this where I really want to work? Will I be happy here? Will I be valued here? Will they, acknowledge me here? That's the main thing. Second is the L is listen to what is not being said. The clues I missed, the fact that I built in 6 people, and I tell people now, never believe that you are going to be saved. Always think that you're on the list. This way, if you are, you're not shocked. And if you're not, keep it moving. So when we are looking and listening for things and we're not hearing them, that's a signal. It could be a signal in a good way or in a bad way. The I is impact is what should wake you up in the morning. If you wake up and you're like, oh, I don't want to go, it's Monday, It's Tuesday, it's Thursday, it's Friday. Every day is terrible when you get up. That's not good. That's not healthy, because now you're not putting your best foot forward. And people see that. People, somebody in your job who does not like being there. And I'm like, well, why do you keep coming every day? Do something else. Be happy. The M is mentors. Then I include sponsors and coaches are needed. These were people I did not have coming up. There were not many people of color, men or women, in the finance area, in the insurance industry where I've been working. I was fortunate there were people in my life who helped guide me, but we need more information. We need more guidance. We need more handholding ultimately, because situations have gotten more difficult in the corporate workplace, and you need that sounding board. And last is the B, is be yourself and be mindful of others being themselves. When we meet people, we're like, oh, maybe they're not that way. Maybe they're having a bad day, but that bad day turns into every day. So always take a look at who you're working with, because they will show you who they really are. And it's up to you to decide, all right, I can handle that every day, or maybe I can't handle that every day, or it's doable and I can work around it, because people show you who they are. And you need to believe them. Don't think that, oh, when I get there, she'll change or the team will get better. No, they are who they are. Take it or leave it. And we have to recognize that, or we'll continue to be unhappy, and we're stifling our own careers by doing that. So that is the climb.
Wow, that's awesome. So could you just run down what each letter means? And somebody, I need a secretary in the chat. Who's going to be my secretary in the chat today? Okay, C stands for?
C was culture. Culture is critical.
Okay.
The L was
L?
listen. L was listen. So it's listen to what is not being said.
Mhm.
The I was impact. You have a scribe out there?
I hope I do.
I was the impact. Impact should be what wakes you up in the morning. The M is mentors. So we all need a mentor or someone mentor-like in our lives. And the B is BE, be yourself.
Okay. Hopefully somebody's out there being my scribe today.
Somebody's out there being your scribe.
I
Yes.
hope so. I'm giving y'all imaginary Bitcoin. All right. I love that climb. That's good to follow just in your work life period. But like you said, I like what you said when you said people that every day, Monday through Friday, is a day. For me, it's Monday. I ain't gonna lie. My boss done told me don't come in on Mondays. He said work from home on Mondays. Because when I come home, I promise you, Dr. Elizabeth, when I go in on Mondays, first of all, Mondays, I'm usually a different person. And I didn't even know it. I would speak differently. My attitude was different until somebody called it out. And I realized, I was like, why am I like this? I've been like this the longest on Mondays. So me and Mondays, it's a ugly love affair. But I get what you're saying. Why keep coming if you're not happy? Because work is a relationship. But I think work can become a toxic relationship for us where we don't know how to get out of it. And the longer we stay in it, it's the harder to get out. Because what do I look like starting over? And I've been a legacy, I call it, employee for 22 years. And here I am, first day coming in. And when you first get to a company, you got to not talk on your phone. You got to get rid of them habits. And I have bad habits because at my job, we have so much freedom. We just get up and be like, I'm going to lunch. We don't have to ask anybody, anything like that. It's basically whenever you get ready to go to lunch, you go. So I could it'd be hard for me to have to say, oh, I go to work at 11. I go to lunch at 11. That structure.
Mm-hmm.
So I think about that. We have a lot of time off. I calculated all the time that I have off. It comes up to 3 months out of the year. So I'm like, hey, I'm only working 9 months out of the year. So, we can justify, just like we can justify staying in a toxic relationship, a romantic relationship, we do the same for our job. And then we kind of like, well, it's not going to affect our lives. I'm just going to work. I'm leaving it at work. It do. It affects you. It really do. Because your friends got to hear you complain all the time. So, Dr. Elizabeth, we're going to stop for a break. I'm going to give you a 60-second pitch time. You can say whatever you want to say in these 60 seconds. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go see if I had a scribe out there somewhere, somebody that, looked out for your favorite Ruby girl. And you go ahead and you blow our minds.
Thank you, Dr. Karron. I appreciate your audience here. Let me tell you, I am Elizabeth, Dr. E. Carter. And the three things I know that keep us stuck in our corporate career, first of all, deflated ego. A lot of times we're always told we're not good enough. We talked earlier about you need a certificate, you need a degree, you need this, you need that. You always need that one more thing you don't have. But you're thinking, probably overqualified. Why do I keep feeling like I'm being beaten down? The second problem we have is uncertainty, because we're doing all the right things. We're being told all the right things. We're not seeing the fruits of our efforts. We're not seeing the recognition. And last is confusion. There's all of these hidden rules. There's rules for some and not for others. You see things happen for some people and not for others. Where is the fairness and what's happening in our organization? We talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion. You don't see any of that. So you're confused about, am I valued? Am I not being valued? These are three main areas that are deteriorating our confidence in being able to think that we can move forward in our organizations. I am telling you, you can. I would be happy to talk to you, work with you to get you out of that spell, I will call it, so that you can thrive in your career. Please reach out to me, Dr. E. I would love to be able to help you get past these three main problems people get on my calendar all the time to talk about. Dr. E of AAPPEAL LLC would love to talk to you.
All right, give them their website.
Yes, www.eac-appeal. That's 2 A's, 2 P's, EAL.com.
Amazing, amazing. I want y'all to go to her website right now. If you look in the posting section of this video, you'll see her website. I want you to go on her website, and when you get there, it says join my VIP community. I want you to join her VIP community. I want you to connect with her. And so, Dr. Elizabeth, would you be able to see who registered and let me know?
Yes, I will
Okay.
keep an eye out on my email, because it should pop right in when someone does so.
Okay. So whoever go out there and register, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put your name in a drawing, and I'm going to purchase her book so that you can have it. She's going to send her book to you on me. I'm going to do that for my audience because I love you and I always appreciate y'all for supporting me. But go to her website, just look up I had a new name for that section. I always say posting section. Header. Yes, the header part of the video. And you'll see her email. I mean, her website. Click on there and join her VIP community. It's going to benefit you because number one, she's giving out good information. And I know what she said to you in her 60-second pitch spoke to somebody. I know somebody out there like, that's me. I've been through that. I'm going through that. It's no fairness on my job. I see people getting away with stuff that I know I could never get away with. So I know something she said resounded with your soul. So stay connected to her. It's not by accident that you are on this broadcast. God wanted to speak some things into your life and shift some things in your life. So connect with Dr. Elizabeth Carter. So thank you. Thank you, Dr. Elizabeth. So now we go into the second part of the show, which brings me a little bit sadness because I mean, I don't have that much time left with my guests and I got to really make this good, but that's okay. So the second part of this show, we want to talk about your new book. You gave us just a little bit about your chapter about climb, and somebody did put it in the chat. We got Katrina out there, Bernice. Hey, Bernice, I got to get her as a guest. We got Geneva. She finally tuned in. Hey, Geneva. Blair Cherie, she put out there climb, and Alyssa put out there climb. Thank you, ladies. Your virtual Bitcoins are on the way. And everybody else that's out there watching, thank you so much. So let's talk about your new book, Letters to My Corporate Sisters. Now tell us about some of the authors. I know you know a little bit, some of the stories. Can we get just like a preview? And tell us about the author's experience, some of these women that you connected with.
First of all, this topic has been sitting on my heart for a while. Because we all have so many stories to tell, and I wanted it to be personal. So, letters to my corporate sisters, it really is. And every chapter starts off with the salutation, "Dear sisters," because it really is a letter. And what I wanted to be able to do is have other ladies share a story that about something in their life in corporate, so that we can empower the next generation of leaders. There are so many women out there. First of all, women are 51% of the population, but less than 25% are in leadership, which is horrible. We want to get better and really provide women tools. I think it was my opinion that because we don't get promoted because, first of all, we have what's called the broken rung syndrome, which is we never make it from individual contributor to a manager. So there's no pipeline to upper leadership because we can't get them to the first level of leadership. That's the first problem. And it really is, once we get there, the struggle. But once we fix that broken rung, the ratio should change for everything else, but we have to get started somewhere. So this was sitting on my heart for a while. And because it's Women's History Month, I felt March was the right time to launch it. I started last year. I looked to solicit women who were at slightly higher levels in organizations. I'm in a group called Chief, which are women who are VP and above in their organizations across any industry. I reached out to that group first to say, hey, I'm working on a book. What do you think would be interesting to talk about? I had a fair number send me tons of topics, ideas, and I had some that said, hey, I want to be in the book. That was a great start. And then I was promoting it on LinkedIn, another area where a lot of corporate people are. I've had a handful of people come through there. And there were several others that I spoke to who, as I was posting or sharing with my VIP community, word of mouth, talked to probably over 50 women about this opportunity. But 10 others said yes to this first time, and I'm so excited. And they range from, I have a prior C-suite executive, and I have others who are, upper level management and some mid-level leaders. So no matter who you are, the stories will resonate, because whether you're a leader or not, some of these situations where you're in a room and you hear things that are not appropriate, someone said something to you that you should have went to HR because it pretty much was, against the law and racist. But I have a nice variety of women in the book across, all facets, all industries, all backgrounds. And the fun part was that I had Les Brown wrote the foreword. So these first women now have, they can say they're an author. This is their first time being an author, and that they are part of a book that Les Brown wrote the foreword for. And I'll just share with you some of the chapter titles, because the titles is really what is very intriguing. There is one, and I'm going to quote, this is Wendy Woodford Gomez, if she's out there. Her chapter is called Be Bendable, but Not Breakable. And that ultimately speaks to all of our journey, because often we are probably bending too far, but you're not going to break us. You're not going to break us. And that's a strong signal to all women. Don't let them break you. You might let them see you cry. You might let them, still see you sweat, cry, but don't let them break you. Another great title was Let Go of What's No Longer Serving You. That's from Willie Mae Star White. And that also, again, we hold on to a lot of things. We carry, I call it the ball and chain to death. and there's several stories in here where a leader said something and we'll carry that for like 10, 15 years. Meanwhile, that person doesn't even remember what they said. They didn't think anything of it. And here we are 15, 20 years later, still thinking about it, still worrying about it, still letting us hold us down. So that's another element of how we need to get out of our own way. And this one last one by Dr. Sandra Wall Williams, her chapter is called Black Woman, White Boss. I'm not going to tell you anything else about the chapter. That the title tells it all. So there's, again, myself and 10 others. We have this beautiful book. I'm so excited for the ladies. I've already have people asking to be in the second iteration of Letters to My Corporate Sisters, but I really wanted to empower others, not just my story, a variety of stories. I'm excited that we were #1 bestseller for the ebook last week in multiple categories. People are intrigued by the title alone. And I'm so excited to be able to get the word out, share, and really help shape and save lives. Women need to read this book. And I'm sorry, men too, because often the men they're part of the problem. We need them to be part of the solution.
I love the finale. I love that. Oh, you left us hanging on that last chapter. I'm getting a book for myself, so I'm ordering 2 books. So if y'all did not go on her website, who did? Say me. I did. I went to her website, say it in the chat so I'll know who went on her website. But go on her website, look up in the header section of the video. Go on her website and be a part of her VIP community. And if you are, I'm going to put your name in the drawing and I'm going to pull your name and she's going to send you one of her books. Did you hear those titles? Be bendable, but not
breakable, right?
Not breakable. It's funny you said that. We had one of my guests, Dr. Carla Maria. She said that. She was talking about bend but don't break, and that's true. And we don't think about that. We as women, especially women of colors, we're flexible because we have to bend so many ways. I was looking out there online and they had an article that was saying that still women make way more less than men do. They cannot go with that men are the head of the household and like back in the days and they would give them more money. That's not fair because usually it's women now that's the head of the household. So you should be giving us more money because it's more single women out there that's taking care of their families. But I looked at that and I believe it. I said, oh yeah, I mean, you can literally sit sometimes at work and you kind of feel that these new people coming in is making just as much as you or real close to you. You feel it, you ain't gotta look at the papers. You just know. You just
That's
know
right.
how, and then I'm learning too, more people that's coming in now are pushing back on their salary. Like, no, not that offer. You need to give me this offer right here. I didn't do that. I was just
Yes.
happy to get a raise.
That's right.
It was one
Yes.
time that one of my managers told me, she said, me and my manager was trying to figure out why is your salary so low. And I'm like, they were like, you have the lowest salary in the department. And I'm like, really? I was like, oh, okay. So that kind of hurt a lot. But she said, I'm trying to get you up there. That's why I'm always giving you great ratings. She says, not like you don't earn them. She said, but I'm trying to fast track you up to where you're supposed to be. And I thought about all them times when I knew it was a range, but I never pushed high. I was just happy to be promoted. I was just happy to get a raise, but happy when I get old, I'm not going to be happy because my Social Security is not going to be that much. So ladies, do it for the Social Security. We need a shirt. When you go in there for that interview, do it for the Social Security or something, a wristband. So what are some of you talked about the titles, but what are some of the issues of corporate you and the co-authors address? I'm just thinking about that last title because
that was the one of the ones where, matter of fact, Dr. Sandra, she talks about the fact that she's in a meeting and they are talking, poorly about one of their peers, of course, who's not in the room. And she asked one of the leaders, said, "Hey, why are you guys talking about this person in front of me?" And he said to her, "Well, we regard you as the help. And we know what the help to us means is that movie, but to them, they called her the help because she reported into the board." So there's always this connotation around what people say and how they say it and how it can be taken in a certain way based on what we know, what we've been through in our upbringing. So sometimes, and that's when you have to nip it in the bud, because had she not even asked him about it, she probably would have gone all this while thinking of me as a help, thinking of me as the maid. I am a senior executive here. So it's so interesting because there's a lot of always this misinterpretation. Another story one of the ladies had, she's in engineering, and I might be confusing the stories, but she walked into a meeting. So they had a name, but no face. So she walks in and she sits down, and they have no idea she's like the person running the meeting. They're thinking she is like an assistant or the secretary taking notes, but meanwhile, she's the one in charge. So there's still this perception that we're not allowed to be the leader. We're not allowed to be the highest ranking person in the room. We're not allowed to be a C-suite officer. So a lot of the stories speak to that interpretation that we feel like we don't deserve to be there. But we do, we've earned it. A lot of these women, we are multi-degreed, multifaceted. We have all gotten used to being the only one in the room. And that is the challenge, because people always will doubt you and question you and think that you don't belong. And they talk about how they have overcome that and share takeaways for the audience. Some share books to read, websites, resources. I had my climb takeaways. So various ways in which we share takeaways for women and other readers of the book to be able to take this and say, all right, if this happens to you, here's how you can handle it. And by the way, here's how you can handle it even better, because hindsight's 2020. What I did at that moment probably wasn't the best way to take care of it, but we did. But now here's something else for you to do so you can handle it in the most eloquent, politically correct way that you can.
I was looking at the chat. B. Jacqueline, one of our lit sisters,
Hey,
is in the
Jacqueline,
house.
I'm
Hey,
looking for
girl.
you for the next book.
She said, OMG, this happened to me at a company. She said they thought she was administrator and not the lead scientist. So
Maybe
it's
that
like,
was your story, BJ.
oh,
Yeah, so be Jacqueline, baby, I'm telling your story. I know I talked to somebody and that was the story. So that was that. I'm sorry. That means you got to get it in the book for next time so that it's in print.
she says, I'm in. Make sure you
All right.
screenshot that. Okay.
All right.
She says she's in. But it's right. It's roles that they see us as. It's still, how can I put, stereotypes? We're still being, you know, I know a lot of, how can I say, powerful African American sisters that have been let go. But but I think about the white male counterpart, would they had fought to keep them at the company, or would they had thought about, oh, we can't let him go, we can't let John go or Frank go because they're very valuable to us. But I think with a sister, even though she's good, because I'm telling you, I have seen some sisters let go and they were excellent. They really contribute to a company. I'll put it like that. But they let them go like that. But then I saw that they brought in people that were lighter than them. Yeah, but was not as good as they were. So you see it all the time in
Yeah.
corporate. You really do. And sometimes I'm like, I'm not playing the politics. And that's why I'm probably where I'm at, because I'm like, I'm not playing with y'all. I'm not playing the game. I'm here to do what I got to do. And when God moved me from my job, then I'm ready to go. Corporate is just not my goal, the marketplace. My goal is to be a full-time entrepreneur. And I know that, but it's people there that just have to endure until they retire because they don't have that exit.
That's right.
But your book is going to help them endure a little bit better, to be a little bit
Yes.
smarter about the game, give them a heads up on the game.
Yes.
So if you are
Yes.
watching, you got to get this book. This preview has me so excited. I'll probably walk into work tomorrow. Like, so if I get fired tomorrow, it's your fault, Dr. E. So
It
tell us
gave you
about,
energy and confidence to say something.
yes,
Yes.
yes. I need more money. So tell us about, you got an event coming up, Corporate Sisters Unite on April the 1st. So tell us
Yes.
about your event, and then we'll be getting ready, sadly, y'all, to close out. Ooh.
Yes. So I wanted to honor the co-authors with a get together. We have been on this Zoom virtual camera for 3 years going on now. I wanted to be able to have these sisters come together and meet each other. We've been meeting on Zoom monthly, and I wanted to celebrate them in person. And I wanted to also just bring corporate sisters together because we need this network. There are lots of groups out there, and I actually already have bought the domain name Corporate Sisters Network because I want to create a movement. This is a movement. On April 1st, it's called Corporate Sisters Unite. It's networking brunch and book signing. I am bringing to town Tiana Von Johnson, who's called the $1 Million Brand Strategist. She works with entrepreneurs, and she's got a great story. A millionaire in the real estate industry before she turned 30. And she left all of that behind because she wanted to become an entrepreneur, and she wanted to pour into others and help people shift their mindset. The other problem we have about our mindset, we think that we don't have because we have never seen, and that we don't deserve. And that we've come from small beginnings. We don't need to stay small beginnings. We need to be able to grow and thrive because we have that right. We need an abundance mindset. So she's coming to town to be able to pour into the women who are there. And I'm going to do 2 sessions also. One's about leveraging your scars of endurance, because we've been through a lot. And the fact that we're still standing, that means we made it. How do we take all of that and leverage it in a positive way to be able to get that next job, to go in and ask for that raise, to tell people what it is we want to do so that we are valued? And I'll close out with the session called You Can't Spell Encouragement Without Courage. Because what happens is we sit in a place called complacency, which is where you are actually, Dr. Karron. You're in the complacent world. You love your schedule. You probably like your coworkers. You love that everything works pretty much on a schedule. But the comfort zone is the danger zone because nothing good ever happens there. And I heard that once and I thought that was phenomenal. So we need to step out, but we need courage. Encouragement is great. You have your cheerleaders, your fans, go, 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 go. But you need to encourage yourself. You can have all the cheerleaders in the world, but if you don't take one step out into your next, then nothing will ever happen. So I'm helping at that point. We're going to create a courage map, not a road map. A road map is easy. A courage map will be what you will do differently so that you move down your road of life with purpose. So that's going to be the day, April 1st in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So excited to bring my corporate sisters together. We'll do a panel with the co-authors. I'm trying to get as many of them to be able to come to town that day. We'll do a great panel discussion, and they'll talk about their chapters. We'll have a nice brunch. Then we'll have Tiana. And I'm so excited for the day. My first live event. I've done events, but not for years and years. First live event. We're coming together getting past COVID and all. If you're in the Pittsburgh area, or if you're not and you want to be able to fly in, drive in, Amtrak comes here, I would love to see you on April 1st.
Wow, it sounds like an amazing event. Yes, I love you can't spell encouragement without courage. Never even thought about that. And
Mhm.
leverage your scars of endurance. Because as you said, we all have been scarred. We all
Yes.
have. Wow. So Dr. E, I just want to thank you for tonight. I want you to want to thank you for even calling me out of the seat that I'm sitting in. And I know I'm in my comfort zone. I
Mhm.
truly know I'm not being challenged and not using the gifts that I need to use, but I try to use them outside of work. But I think about what a joy it would be if 8 hours I could use my gifts and my talents versus just a little bit outside of work. But I wanted to just look in the chat just a little bit. um Let me see. We have Alyssa that says it's been times during corporate they asked her to get coffee, take notes, and she said she had her hair questioned. She said I was not an administrator for the coffee run or the notes. Somebody said they're over corporate, and somebody told me liberated, not fired. And
Love it.
oppressed, depressed, repressed, but still shining. Amen. Dr.
That's
Pamela is in the house too. So we have a lot of great women out there. Katrina, she's out there. She says, speak the truth, honey. Speak it. So I pray that you all were encouraged today by Dr. E. I definitely was. I needed this shake up in my spirit. you know um even listen to everything you say. I probably go back and sit in that seat, but you got me thinking about how can I get out of that seat faster. And you are so
Mhm.
right, there's no growth in the comfort zone. Eagles don't allow their babies to stay in the comfort zone, so I know God is not going to allow us to stay in the comfort zone and not use our gifts. I so want to be released. When I tell you, when I get outside, I just be soaking up being out the building because my seat faces the wall. I don't even have a window. I used to be able to see people come by, but now I sit and look at the wall all day. And so I'm the type of person, I'm actually an introvert, but I like interacting with people. I know that don't make sense. I like messing with people all day long.
Mhm.
So I
Mhm.
just want to thank you for coming on the Ruby Girl Talk. I want to thank everybody in the audience that shared this. And even if you're coming in late, still share this. The replay shared also. So, Dr. Elizabeth, I'm going to let you do a 2-minute closeout. And while you do that, I'm going to pull up your website so they can be looking at your website. But like I tell y'all, go to her website and register as in her VIP community. Definitely do that. And I will pay for a book for one of y'all. Not all y'all. Okay, just because I'm still working, but one of y'all. All right, go ahead, Dr. E, and close out. And make sure you put your contact information and social media, okay?
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Karen. I always tell people when we're trying to make that transition, but still don't minimize the day job. What I say, and many of us say, that's our silent investor. That day job allows us the opportunity and the funding to do our side hustle until such time that the side hustle absolutely 100% can take the place of your job. Please keep doing it, and please keep doing it well. And always remember that what you're doing, the days may not all be beautiful, but you are working in an area of strength. And those areas of strength are also opportunities for you to share with others. So I always tell people you can quit your day job as long as the secondary job still helps you pay the bills. We don't want any broke entrepreneurs out there. If you can go ahead and still thrive in a job and have the freedom to do what your passion is. So I thank you so much. Again, I'm Dr. E. Dr. Karron is sharing my website, www.eac-appeal, 2A's, 2P's, EAL.com. I am an educator. I am a trainer. I am a coach. I am a best-selling author. Actually, now this book makes me a 7-time best-selling author. I am so excited to be able to share my words with individuals through the books. Also, getting on stages and talking about my framework, the Elevate Your Value framework, which really is about being able to first set up. And that's about your mindset. You have to shift your mindset from that negative, whatever that ball and chain you have tearing along, and free yourself from that. And second is show up. You have to ensure you have all the tools personally to be able to confidently walk from the back of the room where you're hidden to the front. And the third step is called step up, meaning when you walk to the front, you want to stand proud and firm, and you want to make sure people know who you are, know your name, know what you stand for, know what you're valued for. And you want them to be able to call you, reach out to you, have you top of mind when something comes up, and they know that that is your specialty and that is your calling. That is what you need to do. That's my 3-step framework: set up, show up, and step up. And I work with individuals to help them move in that trajectory, to go from where they're feeling deflated, confused, uncertain, to where they are proud and they know what they're doing and people know their name. If that's you, I would love to talk to you about that, help you work on your next. It's still first quarter. It is still only March. You have April until December to finish out 2023 strong. Please reach out to me. I also have a summit, my Elevate Your Value Summit. I'm working on my 3rd summit, will be happening in August. If you are a speaker and have a story you wish to share, even if you're a beginner, I have speaker training sessions. If you want to just get your word out and share, I would love to have you. Please send me an email. Go to my website. It says contact us. I will talk to you about all of my opportunities. As Dr. Karron is scanning my website here, I have a free download, Secrets to Elevate Your Value checklist. Just some items for you to think about the way in which you are moving and operating today in the same arena. My set up, show up, step up. Again, go to my website, lots of things to do and see. Again, Dr. Karron, thank you so much for having me. I so appreciate being part of your Ruby Girl family. Thank you so much for the recognition, the accolades, and the conversation tonight.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for being a guest. I so appreciate it. It was an emergency call out. I was like, who wants to be a guest? And Dr. Elizabeth was like, me, you know. So I have a few more ladies that also want to be a guest. So if you are watching tonight, go to my website. You can book on my website, rubygirl.net. You'll be able to get on my calendar. You just choose a package. We have multiple choice packages depending on what you want to get out of being on this show, even commercials, even business gear, or you can just go for our basic package where you'll end up with a business graphic. But as Dr. E will tell you, I do put you out there. You get a graphic. I'm sharing it on my other pages that's out there. I do a reel for you. I play with your picture, make you look really, really extra
You
beautiful.
are so talented. Again, it is coming for you, Dr. Karron. All of that you do at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, that will all come to you.
Thank you. Thank you. So Dr. Elizabeth, she came today to remind us to come out of our comfort zone, to get up out of that seat of average and to go get on that bus of excellency. And so I want to thank you because it's a lot of things that we as women have suffered in the corporate place. We've been overlooked, undervalued, but yet we show up every day. Yet we show up and we bring our best A game to the table because it's just who we are. But you have showed us that we can do our jobs, but not make it our lives. And so it's what it is. It's to work. It's not our lives. It's a means of support. But I thank you. And I want y'all to support her in this book. Look, y'all, just the titles alone was really, really good. And I plan on supporting her by buying at least 2 books. So, all right, everybody. Thank you once again, Dr. Elizabeth. I can't wait to see you again when you come visit us in Michigan for the Leadership
Michigan.
Experience Tour, which is happening this weekend. Look, y'all, if you really want to connect with powerful people, that's how I met Dr. Elizabeth.
Sure.
We met at the Leadership Experience Tour. We spoke together in February of last year. And so I met her and so many other wonderful people just by being in the Leadership Experience Tour. This weekend, starting on Saturday all day, I would say from 8 in the morning to 8 in the evening, it is some people that are coming that are dynamic that you want to network with. So let me know and I'll send you a ticket link. Tickets are $50 or you can even watch online for $26. But if you're trying to go to the next level and connect with people that are at the next level, the Leadership Experience Tour is where you want to step your foot at. Let me tell you, people are looking to connect and people are looking to take you to the next level. So thank you, Dr. E. Y'all support her. Support her book. If you're not in Pittsburgh, at least get the book, y'all. So, all right. Thank you, everybody. I'll be back next Tuesday at 8:30. If you want to be a guest, because I'm looking for my next guest, come on. Let's have some fun on the Ruby Girl Talk. Go to rubygirl.net, look for the talk show tab and book and get on my calendar. So, all right. Thank you so much and have a great evening, everyone.